Hey everyone, and welcome. I'm so glad you could join me. Today, we are diving into an absolutely beautiful and powerful story from the Quran, right from Surah Maryam. It's a story all about a desperate prayer, an incredible, miraculous answer, and the birth of a truly remarkable prophet. So, let's get into it.
At the very heart of this story is a question that I think a lot of us can connect with. How does a really earnest, deeply felt prayer get answered in a way that just seems to defy all logic? Well, we're about to see exactly that, a prophet's deep personal desire and the absolutely astonishing way God responded.
So our story kicks off in a really intimate moment. It's a secret, quiet, heartfelt prayer from the prophet Zakariyya. Now you have to picture this. He's old, his wife has been unable to have children, and he's deeply worried about who will carry on his work and guide his community.
What's so powerful here is the kind of prayer it is. Zakariyya isn't just asking for a son to carry on the family name. No, he's pleading for a spiritual heir, someone who can continue this profound legacy that's been passed down through his prophetic family. So you see, his request really has two layers. When he says inherit me, he's thinking about his role in society, his responsibilities to the people. But then he adds that other part, inherit from the family of Jacob, and that's all about continuing this sacred spiritual prophetic lineage. It's a plea that's both social and deeply, deeply spiritual.
And this is where the story just completely turns. Zakariyya's private, whispered prayer is about to be met with a very public, divine promise. An angel is about to make an announcement that changes absolutely everything.
And the response isn't just a simple, okay, you got it. The Arabic word used, nubashiruka, means something more like, we are giving you great news, good tidings. This isn't just an answer. It's a formal, divine announcement. It signals that something truly huge, something divinely planned, is now in motion.
And get this, the name itself is a gift from God, Yahya. It means life or he who gives life. I mean, can you think of a more perfect name for a prophet whose entire mission is about spiritual renewal and bringing people back to life in their faith? Just beautiful.
Then the verse adds this really fascinating detail. God says, we have not assigned to any before this name. This just highlights how unique Yahya is. His name, his purpose, his whole being. It marks a totally new and special chapter in the history of prophets.
Okay, so Zakariyya's reaction to this news is just so perfectly human. I mean, faced with something that seems completely impossible, he's just floored. He's full of astonishment, and he asks for a sign, not because he doubts, but just to help his human mind process this incredible miracle.
Now, his question isn't a protest, it's not him arguing, it's just honest, humble awe. He's basically laying out the facts as he sees them. My wife can't have children, and I'm incredibly old. How is this going to happen? It's such a real and relatable reaction.
And the divine response is so direct, so powerful. It just cuts right through all those human limitations. The angel simply says, your Lord says it is easy for me. And then comes the ultimate mic drop moment, a reminder of God's power. I created you before, when you were nothing, right? If creation from nothing is possible, then this miracle is certainly no big deal.
So what was the sign he was given? Well, it wasn't a lightning bolt or some big spectacle. It was something way more subtle and profound. For 3 nights, he wouldn't be able to speak to people, even though he'd be perfectly healthy. He could only communicate with gestures. It was this gentle, observable, and really meaningful sign.
And here's the cool part. The sign wasn't just for him. He doesn't go and hide away. He comes out of his prayer chamber to his people, and using signals, he tells them to glorify God. So his personal miracle becomes this public event, a way of confirming the divine message for everyone and pointing them all back towards worship. So now the story shifts its focus. We've heard about the promise, and now we get to meet the one who was promised, the child, Yahya. And right from the very beginning, he's described as being blessed with these extraordinary, divinely given gifts.
Even as a young boy, Yahya is given his mission. First, a command. Take the scripture with determination. This is a call to take on his responsibilities with real strength and commitment. And second, this incredible gift. He was granted hukam, which means wisdom and judgment, while he was still just a kid. It just goes to show you that a divine calling has nothing to do with age.
And it wasn't just wisdom. His character is described in such beautiful detail. He was given Hanan, which is this special compassion directly from God. He had zakah,
or spiritual purity. He was taqi, which means deeply pious. And so importantly, he was baran biwalideh, so dutiful and kind to his parents. He was the complete opposite of arrogant or rebellious. The story of Yahya's birth and his amazing qualities wraps up with this just beautiful and profound divine blessing. It's a benediction that basically covers his entire existence, from start to finish.
And you can see that blessing laid out so clearly here. Peace is invoked upon him at the three most critical, most vulnerable moments in any person's journey: the day he was born, the day he dies, and the day he is raised alive. It's this all-encompassing peace, like a divine seal of approval on his entire life and everything he stood for.
You know, when you look back at it all, from Zakariyya's quiet, persistent prayer to the birth of his wise and virtuous son, this story is just such a profound testament to hope, and it leaves us with a really big question to think about. What can this ancient miracle, this story of a promise fulfilled against all odds, teach us about the nature of hope in our own lives today?